If you're watching this, I don't know which segment this could be, but we are glad you're watching it. I'm still having a discussion with Mr. Julius Caesar, found here in some part of Mukono, a bit deep. But yes, like I said, twapata n'omulimu, and this is what I meant by saying that we shall travel every corner of this country just to bring you inspiring persons just away from the Duke's farm. And by the way, just a reminder, Mr. Julius Caesar has a YouTube channel under the names Lakeside Farm. Please go there, look for the link, the number, and you can have an interaction with him. So let's make a business sense out of goat farming. How is it?
So for us here, how we make business sense out of goat farming is a goat gives birth twice a year.
Okay.
So if I bought 2 goats, and usually goats give birth to twins, that means at the end of the year, each goat will have given me 8 babies.
Each goat?
No, four babies, yes. So all together I have 8 goats. And goats give birth to males and females. If you feed your goat well, and it's a good breed, at about 6 months, a goat is ready to be sold. So those ones you dispose of. You sell all those males at once and make money. So I compare this to if I had 500,000 and I went and bought, and I went and put it in an account somewhere. By the end of the year, that the highest amount that money will make in a savings account, it would be like 50,000. But if I buy one good breed goat and it gives birth to 4 babies in a year, how much is that? Because if I'm able to sell each goat at 300,000 when they're about 6 months, that's good money. So that's part of how we make business sense. And then for the females, we keep those females here. And then these females, when they grow, usually ours, I've noticed, be it local or exotic, at 8 months, they are ready to conceive. They conceive and give you more babies. So the farm is expanding while you are selling the males to make money. It may not come easy, because this is not a get-rich-quick venture, but it's an investment. All investments take time. So it's easy to make business sense out of it only if you keep the principles well. Then also, if you have good breeds, I'm sure Duke here can tell you about people like Boji Farm, people like Hamisi, Semanda. Those people, how they make money is they breed goats. Last year we don't have very good breeds, but recently I actually sold 3 males, young, about 4 months, and they were giving me 400,000 for each because they were big, they were good. So if I'm getting 400,000 for each because it's a good breed, that's good money. So that's how you make business sense out of goat farming. It's not a venture that makes a lot of money, but it's a venture that you can easily start with simple money, and within a period of time it has given you your profits back.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is, of course, just like any other business, one would wonder, how do I minimize the costs but maximize on the profits? Because at the end of the day, it's about making profits. You know that.
For goats to minimize costs, it's all about the space you have. Because if my land feeds goats, then I don't have to go on buying lots of feeding goats. No. The good thing is goats make sense out of every little grass they eat. The more species of grass you have on your land, the more food they have. And the thing is, if you're going to minimize costs, that also means you have to find someone who is very good at keeping your goats. Don't get someone you're going to pay 50,000 to take care of your goats. You're giving them 50,000, that means they have to look for another income somewhere so that they can also fill a gap. Pay someone something that is good, you know that is good, and then they will also take very good care of your goats. And the costs in goats, I think the initial capital is the biggest cost. But as you go on, costs keep on reducing because you don't have to invest in too much money anymore. they eat grass. Maybe if you are going to put in a lot of money, it's in planting grass. And most of the grasses that we plant regrow.
Okay.
So if I planted sugar grass or sorghum, when I cut it, I don't have to plant again. It will regrow. The only cost I have to face now is weeding.
Maintenance.
And maybe cutting and making silage. Then the same applies to napier, either sweet napier or our normal napier. It also regrows. Same applies to alfalfa, same applies to, it's called, what do we call that other grass? Chloris Guyana.
Chloris Guyana, yes.
Yeah, it still also regrows.
You didn't talk about caliandra?
Well, caliandra is also good. It has protein. Actually, the best two grasses for protein is caliandra and alfalfa. But caliandra is, unless you have a very large chunk of land and you're going, because it's a tree. It's a small tree. So it won't give you as much
branches as you wish.
Yeah, it won't be as much as the napier and the sugar grass or the alfalfa. So caliandra is good. It has protein, but you can find a way of planting some. And it actually, well, for us, what we use it here for is usually these ones that we keep inside, the males that don't go anywhere, and the kids. They eat a lot of it because they need a lot of protein. These other goats move and find food elsewhere.
Other alternatives.
Yeah. Okay. So, but the costs, if you're going to minimize costs, that's what you need to do. You may think you're minimizing costs by not paying someone well who is taking care of the goats. Actually, you're increasing costs. Because if they don't take good care, that's when the goats get worms. That's when the goats get diseases, and you have to keep paying a vet.
To be coming all the time.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about something. I usually ask about the structures. Here we see you have fancy structures. They are raised structures.
Well, I will dispute what Duke says that we have fancy structures. Our structures are raised, but they are basic. Everything that you see here, we built it ourselves. Apart from this a big one, we had a professional, some professional help, but not a lot of it. The only thing he did is maybe to a roof, but the other putting of poles, we did it ourselves.
Okay.
So, the structures, a raised house is very good. It cuts out a lot of problems. Worms, because and pneumonia, because when these goats urinate, the urine goes down there. When these goats poop, all the poop goes down there, and it's easy for someone to just clear it out. And even if they are lazy, at least they can clean down there once a week. But if they are not going, you have a ground house and someone cleans it only once a week, those are lots of problems. And when you raise the house, you are avoiding all this urea that comes up and then goes into their nostrils, and you get pneumonia. You hear goats coughing all the time. Then also worms like breeding from where animals have messed up. So you are also minimizing the amount of worms that your goats will be exposed to if you raise the house. But that also depends on where you are. I like what Madame Boji said. That depends on the environment where you are. For us here, being close to a lake, the soil is so soggy. So if you're going to put your goats on the ground, it's a bit of a challenge, unless you're going to put concrete. But if not that, it's as simple as just raise the house. It's not so expensive if you only are in a village somewhere and can access cheap material like us.
Okay. You didn't talk about water. Do goats take water? How important is water in the life of a goat?
Water is important in the life of a goat, just like in the life of any other animal or even humans. Because you've ever gone to a butcher, bought meat, put it in a saucepan, you fry it, and instead of 2 kilograms, now you have like 1 kilogram. That means all the water has evaporated. That means for your goats to build body, for your goats to build muscle, they need water. And if your goats are eating dry matter, like if you're giving them hay, they need to have water to help them break down the food. And most people say goats don't drink, but well, that's because they don't get the advantage of being given water. And that's what most people get their goats used to. But it's not good. That's why you will find someone who has kept 5 goats for years, because they don't give them all the nutritional values that they have to give them. And water is one of them. So for us here, what we do is we make the water available and we give them the feeds. Whenever a goat gets thirsty, it will run to that water. So what you have to do is to make sure that water is always available. Some goats don't want to drink, but what you do, get some molasses and put it in their water. Make it a little bit sweet. I mean, everyone likes sugar.
Sweet things, yes.
So everyone likes something sweet.
Okay.
They will drink. Our goats here used to drink about 2 jerry cans, 3. But right now they can even drink 10, because we mix in some little molasses, and we don't put a lot. In 2 jerry cans, we put just half a cup of molasses. Just that little taste makes them drink a lot of water.
Perfect.
And it's very good, especially the breastfeeding mothers.
It helps them get good quantity of milk.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. The next time we shall be featuring Mr. Julius Caesar will be him explaining to us how to make molasses, what pastures to include, what pastures not to include, among many other things. You've been a great audience and a great information giver. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, please visit his Facebook and, most importantly, his YouTube channel, Lakeside Farms, so you can get to learn a couple of things, because he does upload all the videos in relation to farming on his channel. One other thing he forgot to tell you, that he does local chickens, and the local chickens are the ones that are actually taking care of some of the bills around the farm. So you could literally do the same, have something that can give you money, that can pay off workers, buy a few things here and there as you wait for your main project, which is goat farming, to start giving you as well. Until then, it's a goodbye. We love you. Have a great time.